Yeah, that trade makes 0 cents. It's an impossible trade. But like I was saying yesterday, there has to be a buyer and a seller, right? He can't just open contracts. There has to be a holder of the contract. So whoever sold him the contracts is making a killing. Making out like a fucking bandit. The play was a straddle. And straddles make money when unexpected things happen. When something moves um, much more, it has much more volatility than was expected, right? The IV goes up. It's a very vague, a positive position. But when you take straddles that far out of the money, or that far in the money, it doesn't do anything. There's no way for you to make money. Like the only way that he would make money is if the puts that he bought skyrocket. And even then he still wouldn't make money. Because his puts were like only like 30K, and then his calls were like billions. Oh, he's easily down a couple bill. They're cash settled, so he's going to be down a couple bill like every single day. Hey, Tuned, what's going on? Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, SR. That's what I was saying. Like, when you're buying deep in the money, it makes sense until you get to about 99 delta, right? And then everything farther in the money is just a waste of money. Unless you're trying to get assigned, or sorry, unless you're trying to exercise at that share price. So, like, if SPY's at 400 and you buy in the money at 300, they're going to be maxed out, delta. Their delta's maxed. So if you go to 200, it's pointless. Unless you're trying to exercise. He can't exercise. There is no exercise on SPX. It's all cash settled. So his trade makes no sense whatsoever. What's going on, Poncho?
Pancho!
He can sell if it goes up in value and make money, but it's not going up in value. SPY's going straight down since he took that trade. And who's he going to sell to? All the contracts that he bought, he's not going to be able to find sellers for. What's going on, Jake? What's the point of call options if you can't exercise? Just to make money on the delta. It's purely a delta play. So, like, what's an easy way to put it? If we buy Friday's contracts, let's say, what's it at now? It's at like 4,300. Let's say we buy the 4,400s for, I don't know, $50. So we pay like $50 for those contracts, which is like 5,000, right? And then if it goes up to 4,400 before the expiration, we just make money on the delta. For us to make money on settlement, it would have to be $50 in the money, right? It would have to be at 44.50, because then they would have $50 worth of intrinsic value, and they would settle for that difference. So it's all about intrinsic value when you're cash settled. I think for cash settled, it's much better to sell because you have no chance of being assigned. But like, same thing goes for that. That what I just said about buying is if you sell a contract and you sell it for $50, which is $5,000, right? And then at expiration, they're worth $55. You have to pay the difference when it expires. He has a ton of intrinsic value, but he paid over his intrinsic value. Like here, let me see. Gotta go to historical. So he paid extrinsic value as well. So, okay, he bought these when they were 43.71. He bought the 1000s. So they have $3,371 of intrinsic value. He paid $3,380. So he paid $9 worth of extrinsic value. So he is going to lose even if they cash settle at break even.
So like, what was the point of the trade? Like, did you?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. It doesn't make sense to me. So like same thing with these. He bought the 2000s. They are $2,353 in the money. So that's their intrinsic value, $2,353. He paid $2,360, so he paid $5 of extrinsic value on those too. These ones he paid. Let me see. So these ones he got about right. So the 1217s that he bought for $1,000, they have $3,353 worth of intrinsic value. He bought them for $3,354, so he only paid $1 for those. $1 above what he should have. And then these ones, they have $2,371 of intrinsic value. He paid $2,380, so $9 of extrinsic value on those as well.
Guy basically rugged himself.
He rugged himself, yeah.
There's got to be a reason behind it, because someone playing with that much money.
I think the only thing he's trying to make money on is the puts. It's the only thing that makes sense. But that's the problem is we don't know if he bought all these or if he bought some of them and sold some of them. I'm guessing he sold some of these and bought some of these.
Well, we bouncing, boys.
Like, I'm guessing he bought the 1000s for close dated, and then he sold, or sorry, he bought the far dated, sold the close dated, is what I'm guessing. But I am not actually sure on that. Like, I'm guessing he sold the 1217 2000 calls, or sorry, bought them, Jesus. And then he sold the 716s. So if it says 716, he sold those and he bought the ones for December. It's like a diagonal. So I'm guessing he made a diagonal, and then he also made his short dated contracts a straddle. It's very hard to tell though. We're just pissing in the wind. We have no idea.
Hey, pissing towards the wind.
Yeah, you hate that. Never a good thing. How does Microsoft look? Let's take a look. Still holding the trend, but it doesn't look too good. Looks a little toppy. But it looked a little toppy every single time it did this, and it bounced off the trend. So As long as the trend holds, there's no reason to doubt it. Going back to what I was just saying, I actually made a little post. Here it is. This is a little formula on how to figure out intrinsic value and extrinsic value. It's not like the formula they'll give you on like Investopedia or anything. It's just kind of like a basic way to do it if you're looking at the options chain. You take the underlying stock price minus the strike price. That's your intrinsic value. Then you take the call premium minus the put premium together. Then you subtract the intrinsic value, and that gives you the extrinsic value. So if the call premium minus the put premium is $25, and you have $20 worth of intrinsic value, or sorry, if the stock price is worth $25 and the strike price is $20, it has $5 worth of intrinsic value. And then if the call premium is $5.20 and the put premium is 5 cents, because they're deep in the money, that would give you $5.15 for the overall premium. Then you subtract the intrinsic value, which we just said was 5, and that gives you 15 cents. I know if you guys are listening to this live, you have no idea what I'm saying, but if you watch this video back and you kind of write it out, that's the formula that you need. So here, I'll make an easy example for you guys. This is probably hard to do, actually. So like if we buy the 435 calls, and let's just say it's currently at 434. These calls are going to be pretty cheap because they have no intrinsic value. They have 0 intrinsic value. So let's say if they're priced at, let's just make up a number here. Let's just say they're priced at 50 cents. This 50 cents is completely fake. There's 0 value in these contracts because it's an out-of-the-money contract. Out-of-the-money contracts have no intrinsic value. So if we buy the 435 calls that expire tomorrow, let's just say they're worth 50 cents. They have 0 cents in intrinsic value. The puts, though, the puts are $1 in the money. So the puts would, let's say they'd be at like 120. So they have $1 worth of intrinsic value, but they have 20 cents worth of extrinsic value because they're only really worth $1. So this is like their time premium. All right, back to charts, back to the easy stuff. IWM, you can see we kind of made a really nice trend here, but I don't know how many times this is going to hold that trend. Flat top, ascending bottom, so it's almost creating an ascending triangle. But ascending triangles don't usually last this long. This is more of a distribution top. How's Apple doing? Let me see. I think it's still doing pretty good. Yeah, pulled back a little bit. It had a pretty good morning. It had a bad morning and then a good morning and then a bad morning. It did really bad, recovered beautifully, and then sold off. But you're still holding the trend. So you've forked off of the main trend 3 times. You forked here, forked there, forked there. And if we look at the 1 hour, it's still perfectly holding that trend line. So until these trends are broken, there's no reason to doubt Apple, and you should just be rolling and rolling and rolling until it stops working. Now, tech can't keep doing this. It's not going to last much longer. Facebook is already pulling back from the range. Microsoft is retesting the trend. Netflix had a very, very nasty day. Amazon had a nasty day. Tesla had a nasty day. So the big tech companies cannot continue like this. Apple is at its point, right? If you look at the 1 hour, it has to go straight up from here. It cannot consolidate tomorrow or it will lead to a down move. Same thing with Microsoft. It cannot consolidate tomorrow or it will lead to a down move. And Microsoft and Apple are the two biggest holdings of SPY. So if they start bleeding, SPY starts bleeding, which leads the other indexes down. The only index that's holding the market up right now is Dow Jones. You can see how Dow Jones created its initial range. He tried to break out of it, but kept pulling back to POC. Once you lost POC, tried to go for the low. Buyers came in early, which is very bullish. Bounced us on VWAP, and now we're going for a run. So this looks really good. Nice little move here on Dow Jones. What do I think about cannabis stocks? I don't trade cannabis stocks. I think they're one of the worst sectors to trade, to be honest. I haven't seen any of them cross my scanners recently. I haven't seen any call flow on them. So I would not be interested in wheat stocks right now. If I start seeing like CGC and all the other big boys hitting my scanners, then I'll pay more attention, but I haven't seen those things in a while. Do I think Apple will hit 150 again? As long as Apple stays above the trend, it's going to keep going up. Every single dip is being bought, and it has been being bought since the start of June. Yeah, I saw a verb on my breakout scanner, on my penny stock scanner. That thing's disgusting, dude. These stocks are dog shit, though.
Let's fucking go. Look at the bounce on fucking Apple.
You can't reasonably trade these companies. Look at the wicks on these things. 30.
Bouncing with Apple too. SPY's about to could reclaim 435. Yo, this is strong.
I didn't even look at my CCL today. It's probably getting butchered.
On Baidu.
I'm almost at my max loss for CCL. If it hits my max loss, I'm done. Thankfully, I only bought a few contracts. We never added on to it. I didn't see any reason to add on to it. It was just going straight down.
Yo, Deja, this guy might be correct, bro. Everything's bouncing hard as fuck. Tesla's back at 650. Apple's bouncing hard. SPY's bouncing hard. Yo, this guy could be correct, bro. That's a couple billions. I don't think he's gonna put that up for nothing.
Well, the 1 hour on Apple is still just doing exactly what it's been doing for a month.
I'm looking at the 1 hour. Yeah. Yeah, this is exactly what it's doing. The fucking dip by the dip fucking with the trail is so strong.
Fisker, I haven't looked at Fisker recently. Doesn't look too good. Yeah, thing's dog shit on the daily and the weekly. You just broke the weekly 50. That's not good. You're sitting on the daily 50. So if it can hold the daily 50 here, I'd say you have a chance to bounce, but you've already lost the weekly 50. If it loses 15, it's going to die. Look at that pivot bounce at $10. That was the bottom. Yeah, 15 is your last hope. Tuned, what's the ticker, man? Tickers are much easier to look up than names. CCIV, same thing. It's on the 50-day. So if it holds on to that, could be the bottom. Around 23. You break that, it's going to get obliterated. This company is, or no, I was thinking of Nikola. But I saw Nikola on the scanner today. No, Nikola did not like the 50. It had a big bounce. It was one of the biggest gainers on the day, and then it nuked. A-dial? I'm guessing it's A-dill, this one. Looks pretty shitty. There's really nothing. Let me see, actually. There's a big level right here. Yeah, it goes back. Yep. That's the biggest level on the chart. Around 223. There's also another level up here. At $3. Yeah, this level goes all the way back. Yeah, $3. 223, two biggest levels on the chart. Looks like you also have a little trend line here that you're actually breaking. That's not good. If this started to hold above $3, it would look a lot better. Anything below $3, most likely going to go back down towards the lower of the range. You can basically look at this entire thing as a range, and this is a breakout and a failure of the high. Yeah, the monthly is wicking every single time. It does not like above $3. It can't find any value above 3. Yeah, $3, $3.30, nothing above that. Dow Jones, man, flying. New high a day. Hey, Frank, what's going on? Hey, Green. Let's see. He said, wondering what your thought process is when picking up lottos. What delta do you usually look for on those contracts? For lottos, I look around the 30 delta range. 25 to 30. Those are far enough out of the money where they're cheap, but they're possible to get to if you do see a big move. Anything below like 25, 20, you're not getting to those levels unless you see something very unorthodox. SPY gonna close green? That'd be disgusting. You're well below VWAP. The daily bot is taking profit on Dow Jones yesterday. The sell signal on the daily bot was pretty good on IWM. No take profit on Qs yet. That's actually interesting. take profit on SPY was yesterday. So you are hitting a lot of resistance up here. The Dow Jones futures YM looks really good. Looks better than the regular Dow chart. You're breaking major resistance, pulled back to retest it, and bouncing off of it. That's actually really solid. IWM still hasn't given a weekly sell on the bot, even though it's getting pretty weak here. If it gets weaker next week, it will probably give a sell signal. That Lulu buy is still strong. No close on that. Disney actually gave a buy on that breakout on July 12th. So you want to keep an eye on Disney. Newegg is flipping into a sell. So is DocuSign. So is DoorDash. A couple of our shippers are actually showing sell signals. Gonna have to watch out for that. As far as flow goes today, guys, there wasn't really too much unusual. SPY was a little unusual, slightly big on SPY, 435 calls. We had a little bit of action on Tesla. Some calls came in on Tesla. This was one of the better ones. REGN, 1 million premium, pretty deep in the money. They bought the 540 calls for September 17th when it was at 580. So pretty far in the money. You had a little bit of call flow on CGC, which was oil, or I'm sorry, cannabis. And then everything else was pretty small. Dow Jones, decent sized calls. That's pretty much it. These are actually pretty big. Whatever that is just came in. LYV, what is that? Live Nation. Somebody's buying the dip on that. Not the best chart, though. I think better support would be down here around 76, 75. What'd they buy? They bought the 8250s for October. 2.7 million premium. That's not bad. SPY is a nice little inverse head and shoulders here. You can see if it wants to push back the VWAP before the end of the day. If you guys are new here, make sure to subscribe. Hit that like button on YouTube. We do stream 5 days a week, 3 p.m. Eastern. I've also been doing some scanner streams at 9:30 in the morning to 3 p.m. Eastern. If you guys want to watch my trade ideas scanners, you can stop by for that stream. Still working on a alternative to the newsletter because we did get shut down on that last one. It really sucks, man. I had a lot of educational content ready to go for you guys. But we're going to work on getting a new one made hopefully pretty soon. No, I haven't covered Bitcoin today, actually. Nothing's changed, though, actually. If you've seen my analysis, shit, even the past few months, nothing's changed. Bitcoin is just still pushing lower. You failed that major level at like 35.5. You still can't get above the 50-day moving average, which now is at 35,000. You just broke below a daily pivot. You're coming into a big support level around 30,000. You lose that, most likely go down to like 27. But yeah, man, as long as it stays below the 50-day moving average, which, like I said, is at 35 now, it's just going to keep going lower. Every single rally is going to get sold, and it's starting to look very weak. What's the 3-day look like? Yeah, the 3-day's bad. So if you guys are Ichi traders, the 3-day Kumo twist on Bitcoin is usually very good at indicating when the overall trend is shifting. And this shifted way back here on May 25th. So it's kind of showing you the bull market is ending. You can see the 3-day Kumo. It gets faked out sometimes, but it's very, very good at holding the trend for a long time. So keep an eye on the 3-day Kumo, and that's not good. The bullish market is shifting to a bearish market. Like JMA said, I would not be surprised if it wanted to come back down to retest like 20,000. And as far as Link goes, Excel, I would not be trading any altcoins when Bitcoin looks like this. Because if Bitcoin has that like negative 10% day, which it looks like it's getting ready to do, the altcoins are going to bleed, and they're going to bleed heavy. They're going to have minus 25, minus 30, minus 50% weeks. So I would hold off on buying altcoins until you get that capitulation candle. We have not seen capitulation on Bitcoin since May 19th. Same thing on Ethereum, but Ethereum is holding a little bit of support. But they both look pretty bad.
All right, 15 minutes for Apple to reclaim 149. Let's go. She's running. SPY is also trying to climb too.
And for you crypto guys, did you guys see what JP said? Like 4 hours ago, 5 hours ago? He said cryptocurrencies completely failed to become a payment mechanism. He's the chairman of the Fed.
Facebook is trying to bounce.
How's the 10-year yield doing? Still going down. The tech is still able to climb as long as these yields keep plummeting. The 1 hour Apple chart is honestly one of the best charts right now, and it looks like it wants to go higher, but this thing cannot keep going for much longer. It's on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 green weeks in a row. The monthly breakout is very, very clean. I'd keep an eye on Netflix here because you filled the upper gaps. There's no gaps above you anymore. We had a nasty day today, so you very likely could come back down to refill this massive gap area below you. It's like portion of it here, portion of it here, that has not been touched. We also have earnings coming up, so if they have bad earnings, they're going to gap down most likely, and then it'd be pretty funny because they have to go up to fill this gap, and then they have to go back up to fill the gap that they put in on earnings. But those are the biggest gap areas you want to pay attention to right now, right around like 520, and then whatever gap it puts in on earnings. Netflix is a big earnings mover. Almost every major gap it has is from earnings. So definitely keep an eye on that. When I get off the fucking computer today, Johnny, I need to like put my arm in something and make it stay straight. It starts feeling good when I stretch it out and I make it straight, but then I'm sitting here using my mouse and like fucking curving my arm, right? And then it tightens up again.
But they probably just cramps up.
I need to
right
get like a cast, dude. It's killing me.
Take some proceeds.
Need to go eat like 7 bananas.
That'll work. Look at Spy. Trying to push in.
Little V reversal. Do we have any more talks tomorrow? I don't think we do. Let me see. Retail sales, and that's it. Actually, we have preliminary inflation expectations at 10 o'clock.
Tesla trying to reclaim 650 at the close.
Got about 10 minutes left on the market, guys. Nothing too crazy happening here on the close. PayPal has increased its purchase limits for cryptocurrencies to $100,000 a week with no annual limit. That just came out. Florida reports 7,000 new coronavirus cases, the biggest one-day increase since April 22nd. That was an hour ago. There's a lot of bad COVID news going around.
Apple's bouncing.
Five minutes until close. Pretty strong close on most things. A lot of volume coming in on Qs, actually. Take a look at that.
Oh, look at Tesla above 650. About to reclaim 651.
Yeah, a lot of closing volume. Funny thing is about this whole like nasty sell-offs that we've been getting in the morning, they're not really doing anything to VIX. VIX is having like very, very small days, up 5%, then it pulls back basically where it was. It spiked up on like July 8th, which, let me see, where was that? That was this day here, that nasty day that got recovered instantly. But VIX is steadily staying below 20, which is where we want to see it. Kind of below 20, below 18 is really, really good too. We're kind of hanging out right where that that COVID gap fill was. This is where it gapped up and COVID started destroying the entire market. It's this whole like area back here around, what is that, like 17. That's the COVID gap fill. But we've been putting in lower highs on VIX and kind of stabilizing for the past like 2 years, but really the past 3 to 6 months it's been stabilizing very, very well. You see these like nasty spikes that we've been getting. We're not really getting those anymore. We had a nasty spike here in May. We had one in June, but it wasn't that bad. And then we just had one in July on that big red day, but that also was not that bad. So the volatility is definitely kind of coming back to pre-COVID levels, but even with VIX being kind of around this area, around the like 15 to 18 range, the volatility is still not the same as when it was pre-COVID around that same range. Like when the VIX was back here and when it is in that same exact area here, it's not the same. The options market is still much more volatile. We're seeing much higher implied volatility on most things. So it's going to be a long time, if ever, until we get back to like pre-corona. I do think these like nasty morning sell-offs that are just turning into 11, 12 o'clock reversals every single day, that's not going to happen for much longer. I think that's going to go away pretty soon. But the increased implied volatility across the board, that's going to stick around for probably a long time. But all right, guys, that is the bell. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's stream. Make sure to hit that like button if you did. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe on YouTube. If you guys are watching on Twitch, make sure to head over to YouTube, subscribe, check out my How to Trade playlist. I got about 20 videos on there teaching you guys how to read charts, different techniques for trading and whatnot. So yeah, definitely check that out if you guys are new. I will be streaming tomorrow, so we'll be streaming back at 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. The scanner stream will start at 9:30 in the morning if you guys are day traders. If you guys hang out on the computer throughout the day, you guys can pull up my scanner stream. That goes from 9:30 in the morning to about 3 p.m. Eastern until we start the analysis stream. So check that out. If you guys are in Discord, I'm going to post the analysis later today. I got a busy day today, so I don't know when I'll be home. But I'll try to have that posted around like 10 o'clock, maybe 11 at the latest. But just watch out for it. I'll post it later today. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. You guys have a good one. Peace out.